been eating all day.
So, oh, you have been?
No.
I've been fasting.
Are we live?
We're live.
Oh, good.
We're live. Okay, guys, I am Jamie Geller
And I'm now fan out
from Grow and Behold, and we are here because today, it should be National Brisket Day today.
Right? Well, sous vide day is coming.
But I was saying, I was on the Today Show this morning making brisket, which inspired us to make brisket with you, and they were asking me where to get the best brisket.
What'd you say?
But of course, we weren't live when they asked.
Ah.
Just for the audience,
So,
yeah.
okay. Tell the audience.
They never let you promote, so I couldn't. They didn't let me wear my apron because it has the JG logo on it. So I couldn't say Grow and Behold on camera, but the audience knows, everyone knows. GrowandBehold.com. You have an amazing new website.
Yes, we do.
You have amazing kosher pasture meat.
Amazing kosher pasture
What does that
meat.
mean?
It means they're raised outdoors. Our animals don't get antibiotics or hormones. They get to express natural behaviors, move around, spread out, and they're delicious. When you raise animals right, they taste better.
We say happy cows, happy meat, right?
Happy meat and delicious meat. It's
Yes.
true, exactly.
Happy, delicious.
Healthy.
Happy, healthy, delicious, everyone.
So let me share this on
Yes.
Grow and Behold too, so
Oh,
we
sure.
can get everybody else.
Okay, so you can watch it where you're watching it now. You can also go to Facebook, Grow and Behold, or growandbehold.com, and you can be watching us live, so everyone can see us. And then we're going to turn it around because some weird things going on with our app. So Anna will be able to see the comments. Anna, do you want to wave your hand so people know who you are?
Hi, everybody.
She's the other half. And my other half is at
here.
home. Have we missed you? Oh, cool. Oh, this is so
Great.
cool.
Okay.
Cool.
Okay.
You guys are on
So
two
Jenny, let's
cameras.
talk brisket.
Yes.
Pesach is coming.
Isn't that crazy? It's around the corner.
No, I have been making Pesach labels all morning.
They already booked me for the Today Show for Pesach.
Good. That's excellent.
Okay, cool.
Cool. So, okay. First, though, we're going to make a sweet and sour brisket
Yes.
today. This is one of your early recipes, right?
Yeah, and it's just so, we say brisket is so comforting. It spans generations. It's something your grandmother made for you, something we make for our kids. It spans cultures, it spans seasons, and this is one of those kind of old school recipes based on a unstuffed cabbage.
Exactly. So
Yeah.
it's sweet, it's sour,
Stuffed
it's got cabbage. It's really great. But first, though, let's just talk about brisket.
Yes, let's please.
Right?
Everyone wants to know why it's so amazing.
So one question is why it's so amazing, but then what even is it, right?
Yeah.
So brisket, traditional real brisket, is actually the pectoral muscles of the steer.
Okay.
So it's the chest.
Okay.
It gets a lot of work because the animals are moving
Right.
around, they're stretching their necks, they're grazing. So it's a tough muscle.
Very tough.
It has to be slow cooked for a long time.
So I say low and slow.
Low
That's how
and
people
slow.
remember it.
So what is brisket? Brisket is made out of two cuts.
Yes.
First cut, and when I say cuts, I actually mean two muscles,
Okay.
first and second. So I want to show you real quick on our new website,
Cool.
because not only are there a bunch of different types of brisket or different cuts, there's also lots of other cuts that are like brisket that you can use.
So what happens is people are going to go on and they're going to want to make this recipe and they're going to hit brisket. Here, come around, Anna, so you can see.
So
Let
check
her get really in because we're doing it for everyone at home. So tell us when you can see it really good, and you can rest your arms there on the counter. And tell Naf if he has to like lean it forward or if you have any glare or anything. Are you good?
I think we're good.
Okay, cool.
Pull the screen a little forward.
Okay, so check out this great new website.
Super Bowl, go Eagles!
Super Bowl's coming, featured products. It's beautiful.
Woo! I know that guy.
Yeah, right? Cooking School, growandbehold.com. Check it out. But now let's see what happens when you type in brisket. BRISKET.
E.T.
Oh my God, brisket strip.
Really? Oh my God, you're stressing me out now.
Yeah, right? So, what are all these different options? Well, let's take a look at the whole brisket first. I just also want to say, photography here, we did a lot of work on this.
Beautiful.
So you can really see what you're getting.
Yeah.
So, here you go. Let's zoom in. And this is the second cut brisket.
I know, you can tell that because it's more marbleized.
It's more marbled.
I always say fat equals flavor, so I either always use a second cut brisket or this whole brisket that you have.
And this is the first cut down here.
And also there's like the flap.
So
Right?
yes, it's the flat and the cap in non-kosher terminology. So let's find the brisket. Let's search for brisket again and look at some of the other cuts. Okay, so there's also, so whole brisket is actually the only real brisket.
Right,
And there's
okay.
whole brisket, and then this is the second cut on its own, and this is the first cut on its own.
And people can see just when you move so that it's not highlighted, like because it gets
Yeah.
darker, you see it's more marbleized, more fatty, and that's going to be sort of the softer, more tender, and more foolproof when you're cooking. The first cut is leaner, and if you don't are not a little bit more delicate with the cooking time, it could tend to dry out a touch.
Yes.
So.
But ours won't. Even though they're leaner. Nice thing about you, it's true. Use the good meat. I mean, we
I always order the second cut, so I didn't know that.
Well, last time when we were cooking and we lost track of one of the 4 briskets we had to prep for our demo with you.
Right.
One of them got overcooked in the oven. We made it into pulled brisket. It was still amazing in West.
Oh, you
The
tricked
the
me.
first cut. We took
Okay.
the second cut off,
Okay.
saved that for a family that had a baby. And brisket. But what are these other cuts?
Yes.
That's actually what I want to talk about. So French brisket, brisket strip. So these are other cuts that are usually from the chuck and the shoulder that cook similarly to brisket. They're braising roasts. And anything...
So you have them categorized here because any recipe that calls for brisket, you can do the same thing.
Exactly. And here's the thing. Kosher butchers, there's no standard terminology.
I know.
So like
and
some
it drives people crazy.
It drives people crazy. So some people will call brisket strip side steak. One nice thing about our website is that we are showing different names for these cuts.
Oh, that is amazing.
So that will help, can help people find them. So brisket strip is also known as side steak.
Also,
French
anything
brisket.
that calls for like a pot roast, you could use a brisket as well.
For sure. And the same thing, so like for our French brisket as well. And we've got cooking tips, basic techniques, recipes for every cut. But you can cook this just like a brisket as well. It's a low and slow cut. So anything that's low and slow, you can use a brisket recipe for.
How will it taste different?
We're going to see.
So Naf is doing a little taste test for me. He prepared my recipe so you don't have to wait 3.5 hours to see the finished product. And we're going to taste the French brisket and the
brisket strip and the second cup. But let's start cooking.
Yes, let's just. Oh.
Okay, and Marcia Freud says hi.
Hi, Marcia.
Jody says hi. Paula says go Eagles.
Yay!
We've got people in Miami. We've got people in Israel. And Jody says she loves our products. Thanks, Jody.
Yay,
Thanks,
Jody.
We love you too.
Yeah, you're right. That's what I usually
There you
answer.
go.
Okay, guys, so if you are like Jody and you love their products or you're just wondering and want to try them for the first time, we have a special offer.
Order any brisket before the end of the month, including the French brisket or the brisket strip, and you will get 10% off your whole order with the code Jamie Loves Brisket.
One more time.
Jamie Loves Brisket.
At growandbehold.com, guys. So now's your chance to check it out. Hearts and thumbs up and everything. All
Check it
right.
out.
So I have 3 golden rules when it comes to making brisket. One is rest before you rub. Rest after you rub.
But rest.
Yes, rest. So the idea is whether you're just doing salt and pepper, in this case we did salt, pepper, and sugar, or you have a more complicated rub, we have one of your amazing coffee rubs we've done before.
That one's great.
Let it rest for at least an hour or 24 hours overnight in the fridge, and that tenderizes the meat.
And that's what we do with this.
Yeah.
So this got, it's also called a dry brine, done last night.
Great.
Rub, salt and pepper, sit overnight in the
Great.
fridge, ready to go.
Okay, and this makes melt in your mouth meat. So the next one is brown before you braise.
So shall we?
Yes, we shall.
Okay.
So this is the stovetop sear off.
Yep.
This is where we develop layers of flavor.
So let's just get this started here.
Want to get it nice and hot? Where's your oil? Oh no! Okay, so then we are using a very special product from Grow and Behold today.
Yes.
This is the rendered duck fat, pure duck fat. Now, what flavor is this going to add, and why am I using this instead of oil?
So this is great for high heat.
Okay.
Duck fat
fabulous.
is a great fat to fry in.
Right.
And it's the thing with the duck fat is it's not gonna add flavor that's going to take over any of your dishes, but it adds this richness.
Okay. I love rich.
It makes it so rich.
So you can never be too rich.
You can never be too
Right.
rich.
So shout out to Chef Laura. Love you. She is a duck fat lover. Everything, her potatoes in duck fat, and now we're going to do our brisket in duck fat.
So I always say when you're buying a duck, you're getting 2 things. You're getting the meat and you're getting the fat.
That's it, right. We've done that before. We've cooked the duck and then we've used the fat and we've done different things with it. So we want this to be nice and hot, guys. The idea here when you're browning before you braise, when you're searing, is you're putting it into a hot pot, okay? So we want to hear that sizzle. So you want to feel the heat nice about 6 inches off the pan. We're using a Dutch oven, which we love. This can go from the stovetop to the oven. It has a nice, beautiful cover on top.
Can I dry the brisket off?
You may. You want it to be nice and dry before you put it in. That's how you get that really nice sear. And you don't splash. Megan Kelly today on the Today Show, she put the brisket in and dropped it, and I got splashed. Ooh. She apologized. Don't worry, we're still best friends.
You still look good,
she's like taking off the hot oil on my face. So you want to make sure that it's dry and that you gently lay it into the pan away from you. So Naf is coating the bottom with the duck fat.
Can you smell it?
Yes, delicious.
Can you guys smell anything?
Of course they can. The smell of it just came out yesterday. It's the new Facebook made a few changes to the algorithm, and they added
see that marbling in there too.
Yeah, so zoom in on that. So that's the second cut with these nice strips of fat in between the meat. That's what helps keep it nice and moist.
Okay, let's go so they can hear the sizzle. That's when you know you're cooking, guys. That's the sound of a kitchen in action.
Lots of love.
Hearts, thumbs up. If you like what you see, we're making a second cut brisket. Now, what's the poundage generally of your briskets? Second cut?
So we trim our briskets pretty well because we don't want you to have to pay for extra fat.
And you're making my life easier.
Exactly. But our second cut briskets come in at about 2 to 3 pounds each.
Okay.
And our whole briskets are going to come in anywhere from 7.5 pounds to 11, 12 for the big ones.
Okay, so usually my recipes call for 4 to 5 pounds. You have to buy 2.
Buy 2,
Yeah.
or you can buy a top of the rib,
Okay.
which will come in around
top of the rib.
3.5, 4 pounds.
Okay, great.
Cooked exactly the same way.
Okay, fine.
Or half the recipe, but buy 2 briskets.
Right, yes.
Right, you know, I don't
2
mind.
briskets is better than 1.
It is.
On the Today Show, I did leftovers, which I call right-overs. And I never make enough briskets to have leftovers, so I double and triple my recipe so that I can
Exactly.
go ahead and shred it and make tacos and sliders, and I even stuff my matzo balls with brisket.
There you go.
Is that crazy? So, do we think this guy's ready
No,
yet?
don't touch it. Dave.
Okay, so what I wanted to show everyone is when you go to touch and it's sticking, and I won't do that, that's the meat saying,
If we're going to teach it,
okay, fine.
Don't do it.
Right, that's the meat saying, leave me alone, I'm not ready yet. It will easily come off the bottom of the pan when you're ready, when it's fully seared, and then we're ready to flip it. So, 5 to 6 minutes per side.
5 to 6 minutes. This is, you know,
Oh, the smell is amazing.
yeah. But two key kitchen tools when you're cooking meat thermometer and a timer.
Oh, I was going to say tongs.
Tongs are critical too.
I look like an extension of my arm.
I use timers all the time when I sear. Yeah, because it takes 4 or 5 minutes, but I've got 3 kids running around and this and that. Like who's got time to deal with?
To keep the time.
You know, to know. So I set a timer for 4 minutes,
Okay.
and then I know to go check it after 4 minutes.
And it's interesting that you use a meat thermometer. When I'm making brisket, I really
Well,
don't.
yeah, not for brisket.
Right, it's slow and
Sorry.
slow. You just put a fork in it, and when it easily comes out with no resistance, then you know it's done. If it's tough, you didn't cook it for long enough. Just let it be in there.
Yeah, and that's the thing. You can always put it back. That's the
Yeah,
nice thing. You
isn't
take out your
amazing?
brisket, you poke it with a fork. It's not tender yet.
Right back
in
in the oven.
Set that timer for another hour,
Right.
so you don't forget.
Okay, let's see. We still have a little bit more time
Go
here, I
grab that
think.
computer and put it right there.
Do we want it now? Do we want to tell the people at home anything? I think you, like, think about Grow and Behold that we want to tell them about coming up for Passover, any kind of orders?
Yeah, so-
just while we're waiting for this thing to flip.
So we start making our Pesach provisions next week. We've got
Don't
all
freak
of
out,
our
guys.
hot dogs, sausages, beef bacon, pastrami, all that stuff kosher for Pesach.
Great.
We make Pesach broths, so chicken and beef broth. So you
Amazing.
can start cooking earlier. You
Right.
can use it for gravies, etc.
And let's talk Super Bowl. What do you have put on the site for Super Bowl?
Wings and steaks.
The ultimate. And you know, got some great, like, looks like hot dog, sausage,
Sausages
something
for
in a
sure.
bun.
Get
That
the
looks
lamb
good.
merguez, get
Right.
the hot dogs, get the knockwurst. We'll probably update the specials today. Get
Okay,
some more
great.
Super Bowl specials up there.
Amazing, amazing.
Or the
Okay,
beef
and I
bacon
just wanted
patties.
to do a quick hi to Marsha in Marion Station.
Oh,
and
really?
Marcia's up
Goldie Tauber says hi, beautiful. Baruch Hashem.
Oh, that's my mom.
Oh.
Yes. Oh, I love you.
Sherry in York, Pennsylvania says hi. Jody
Sherry.
loves the Le Creuset. And we've got folks in Seattle, Chicago, lots of Marion Station, Miami. So
Great.
All places where we deliver and
Tell
have
me-
buying
I
clubs.
was
in
gonna
fact,
say,
yeah.
tell us how those deliveries work, because if I'm in Chicago,
So if you're in Chicago, what's
Yeah.
today? Thursday?
I'm not even sure. I don't
I
even know
think
what time
it's Thursday at
it is.
12:30. If you're in Chicago, you can go to our website before 1 p.m. Eastern.
30 minutes left, guys. Run.
30 minutes left, and you can order.
Oh, take the temperature lower.
Yeah, thank you.
We're smoking here, guys. Oh, we're good. We're good. We're good. So hold on 1 second. We'll come back for the water. Let's see. Look at that beautiful. I see how it just flipped right off.
Exactly.
And that's when we're ready. Okay. So we'll let that go. So if you were in Chicago, is this just for the Midwest or for the West Coast as well?
So we ship nationwide.
Yeah.
Now, if you're in Chicago and you need your order tomorrow,
Yeah.
you got to pay for overnight shipping. That's probably $40 or $50.
Okay, fine.
But if you ordered on Monday, Tuesday,
Sure.
or Wednesday, it would be 2-day shipping. It would only cost like $25.
Amazing. And then
to
the
ship
meat
it there.
arrives frozen.
Frozen, vacuum packed, labeled, ready to go. Beautiful.
And how long can I throw it into my freezer if I want to do a bulk order?
Forever.
Forever. So you can
Forever.
literally now
I mean, you
till
can-
you're 120. Just
Yeah,
put it in the order.
it's so good, you're going to eat it well before it goes bad.
Totally,
Frozen meat will
totally.
last, at least a year in the
Right.
freezer. Our stuff is frozen at the peak of freshness.
Great.
So we ship nationwide. In the New York area, we deliver. In Manhattan, we're actually there 3 days a week.
Right.
Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Brooklyn, the 5 towns. Tuesday,
Right.
Thursdays. But we also have buying clubs. We have about 40 different buying
So
clubs
amazing.
all over the country that let people save a little bit of money on the shipping.
Right.
So these buying clubs in Los Angeles, we have one in Beverly Hills every month. So you go.
So posh.
Well, you know,
Beverly Hills,
right?
I guess you want to
You
know.
gotta get the good meat.
Totally.
So, you know, Beverly Hills, Phoenix, Seattle, 4 different places in the Bay Area, Chicago, Denver, Boulder, Florida, Memphis.
What do you think, if we start like an operation where there's a buying club in Israel, and every time I come, I take a few suitcases back.
Just let it back.
Don't tell anyone.
Hey, you said Customs loves you, right?
Everyone come, totally. Everyone come meet me at my place. Okay, so normally, guys, we'd let this go 5 to 7 minutes per side, but we want to just show you what the next stage is. Oh, we need some heat. We can take heat. Yeah. So after this really would go, it would look like this on both sides, 5 to 7 minutes per side. We would remove it and put it to a plate and then prepare our braising liquid, okay?
Sure. Mise en place.
Mise en place is French for everything in its place. That's why I love cooking with Naf and Anna. I come here and everything is prepared. So first we're going to get our veg in here.
I've lost my onions.
Wait, we spoke about that before. So here we've got carrots.
They're in the fridge.
This is inspired by a stuffed cabbage recipe. So think of it sort of as an unstuffed cabbage / brisket. Our onions, a little bit more junk fat if needed.
Never hurt anybody.
Never. Oh, they're cut so nicely.
No, we have great prep staff here.
Great.
The Grown Bold Headquarters.
Yeah, totally. The Grown Bold Test Kitchen headquarters, all the shoots happen
Anna,
here.
can you zoom in and watch how the stuff and the darkness on the bottom is starting to come off now?
And that's why, look at this fabulous, I love this. Give it a little scrape, let the bottom come off. All this is flavoring our veg.
It's called the fond. It's actually a technical term, FOND. You can use that to impress people.
Totally.
But that's going to build the flavor to a whole new level on your soup brisket.
And that's why we're continuing to use this pan and just build a Dutch oven and build everything here. I taught Megan Kelly today mirepoix. She's so excited about it. So mirepoix is just fancy French for your basic onions, celery, and carrots.
So confession, how long did it take you to learn how to pronounce that word?
Oh.
Anna had to drill me.
Really?
Yeah, Anna speaks French. I don't.
Oh, did I say it right? How
No,
do
you
say
got
that?
it. You got it. Yeah.
Okay, I guess I'm just a natural with languages.
Exactly.
I know nothing else, but I know mirepoix.
It took me 4 days.
And I say bouquet garni. How do you say that, Anna? Bouquet garni. Garni. Bouquet garni. Got it.
Mirapooks.
Okay, so then we're going to have our cabbage in here as well, guys.
Beautiful.
And this you could just buy already. Shredded cabbage. Just make your life easier, guys. And you can really cut the carrots however you'd like. You could do them shredded if you wanted. You can cut them into coins. I love how you guys do them over here.
Well, you called for baby carrots.
Oh, is that right?
So I
was going to say, I
usually
usually try to cut a bunch of corners where I don't have to be busy in the kitchen with my knife skill. So I buy the shredded cabbage, I buy the baby carrots. I'm like, oh, this is so pretty. Yeah. Okay, are you coming on the road with me now?
Oh,
Cleaning as we go. Okay, so now we're going to get the rest in here.
that would be a lot of fun.
Oh, Tamar's here. Hi, Tamar.
Tamar! Anna was just saying how cute you are. Hi, babe. So we would have a lot of fun here. So we want this to get brown and caramelized. We would cook this down. But we're going to continue to expedite things here. And we're going to pull in our tomato paste.
No, crushed tomato.
Oh, we have crushed tomatoes in this one, thank you.
Tomato paste is the rub, right?
I did tomato paste this morning now. I'm like, it's all blending in one. We did the classic braised brisket here, so crushed tomatoes. Let's go. I know just a pommel. There's something for these handles.
Right there.
Great. And we've got our sugar. We're using turbinado sugar. You can use brown sugar. Oh, so Anna can sit a little bit?
No.
Or our computer.
Everything for the fans at home, so we can
Yeah.
see.
So let's do this. Our sugar, our vinegar, our lemon juice. Let's pull all this in here. And this is great. These are all the flavors of a classic stuffed cabbage.
Beautiful. And let me juice this lemon right there.
Wonderful. And what happens is the cabbage here is going to emit a lot of water as well. So it's going to be it's going to braise really, really nicely as it cooks down. I have one braised brisket recipe, which is called basically for like 10 onions and no liquid, and throughout the braising process.
That one's great.
I love that.
That's the one that we made pulled brisket with.
Yeah, so awesome.
And it was like meat pasta.
Yeah,
Pulled
yeah. Oh, so amazing. Okay, so now we're going to add our brisket back into the pan, right?
Yep. Get your tongs.
Thank you. Thank you, thank you. And we're going to go low and slow now. We spoke about that. Super, super important when cooking any tough cuts of meat, right? So we're taking this down. Oh, did I miss my tomato paste?
No, now's the time, right?
Thank you.
Mix and combine.
Yes.
Bring to a boil, and here we go. Let's smear.
Tomato paste is one of my favorite canned products.
It's amazing.
Loaded with flavor. I always take usually a little spoonful as I'm cooking. I love it. And this is going to just have kind of like umami flavor to it.
Yeah, check this out.
A good old smear. Oh, how amazing does your house smell?
Well, so
Always.
we carpool with the neighbors, and when they dropped off the kids yesterday, they said, "What are you cooking? What are you cooking? Can we get a Shabbos invite?" I said, "Sorry, we're out of town."
Oh, where are you going for Shabbos?
We are actually going to Ramad Darom, Camp Ramad Darom. They're doing the To Be Shot Farm to Table program. Was that your camp?
I am a camp. Yeah, tell everyone over there. I am a Camp Ramad alumnus. Is that how you say it for a girl? Alumni? Alumnus. I went to Ramon the Poconos because I'm a Philly girl.
So my little sister went to Ramon, Canada.
Tell the people over there what you're doing.
And, excuse me, but we're going to Camp Ramad Darom. They're doing a To Be Shot Farm to Table retreat this Shabbos. So they're bringing us down. We're going to chef some chickens on Sunday. Going to do a little shita demonstration.
Are you making anything with like the Shivat Tamimim, the 7 species? We do a lot of 7 species recipes around this time.
So we sent them a couple 100 pounds of meat earlier in the week, and I'm sure
Lucky
they're making delicious stuff. So, okay. but I am not privy to the menu.
Okay, guys, if you want some meat also and you're jealous of Ramad Darom, please go to the Grow and Behold website. Jamie loves brisket. You've got 1 week to get 10% off your order, but you have to order brisket and try this recipe. Or we have an ebook called Brisket 101.
Yes.
Okay, and tons of recipes as well.
Yeah, this recipe's in there.
Yeah.
So.
Okay. Do you want to actually do the honors?
I will be happy to.
I'm at the end of
you don't have to mess with my
300 degrees, low and slow, guys. And I usually do for, this would be 2 to 3 hours, this particular poundage. For 4 to 5 pound brisket, I do something like 3.5 to 4 hours.
That's it?
Yeah. It's like roughly 45 minutes a pound. And we let that go.
Okay, so.
Through the magic of television.
To the magic of television, check this out.
Gotta come close.
We'll bring it over.
Oh, fabulous.
Okay. That should be, that's fine. You can close that now.
It's fine, I have to just focus on the meat.
Okay. So here we have our 3 different types of brisket.
Okay. And notice that it shrinks. So that's why you have to buy 2 or 3. That's so, so important.
Yeah. So this is the brisket strip.
Okay.
This is brisket for 2.
Great.
This is
or my hubby would say that's for 1. What are you having for dinner?
Exactly. This is second cut brisket.
Great.
This is what we call our French brisket.
Right.
So we roll this.
Great.
You can also always untie it ahead of time
Sure.
and cook it more flat if you'd like to.
Okay, great.
It's really just a matter of preference, and maybe if the recipe really wants the meat to be submerged, then you don't want to unroll it.
Got it.
Either way
okay,
is fine.
fine.
So.
But the best thing to do, one of my 3rd golden rule is wait a day, if you can. The best thing about brisket is to let it go a day, let all the flavors marry. It's going to be so much more flavorful, and then the next day you're going to rewarm it in the oven. So.
And also slicing cold is another.
Oh, no question about that. And if you can't wait a day, then at least allow it to cool before you slice it.
So we did wait a day. We cooked these yesterday. I wanted to slice them hot because I wanted people to be able to see them whole. So that's why we're going to slice them now. So Jamie, how do you slice your second cut brisket?
Okay, I usually go against the grain.
So
are you going to like freak me out?
No, this is the there is a right way and a wrong way to cut most cuts of meat. Mm-hmm. Second cut brisket, I happen to think can go both ways.
Really?
But, yes.
Not if you just rock my world.
Well, because it's braised, it's braised,
so
it's tender.
Soft,
it shouldn't
won't
really
be tough
matter.
in any direction.
But
so you're saying it's a foolproof to cut and foolproof to slice.
Second cut brisket is really as easy as it gets. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So it's hard to see the grain because this was cooked, but you can start to see it. It goes across, and you could see it. That's the grain, the marbling. That was the grain. That was the direction. So now I'm just going to slice this up.
Oh, look how soft! I can tell already. I always say you don't need a knife. You don't even really need any teeth to eat this beef.
No.
It just goes down that easy. Melt in your mouth. Beautiful.
Okay.
Oh.
So that's the second cut.
We're going to wait till they're all ready? Because I want to do boom, boom, boom.
Oh, sure. I hate waiting. So this is the brisket strip. So we're going to cut this against the grain. And you can see it's already falling apart, tender enough that piece just came off.
So this is good for like a romantic dinner for 2.
Yep.
If they send the kids to the babysitter.
This is much like a first cut brisket in terms of marbling. So that's a good thing to know about brisket strip. It's like
it is a little bit leaner.
Yep, it's a mini. It's like a mini first cut brisket.
So okay, guys.
Also for if the kids are gone, if we have older couples who love this because if you're just making Shabbos but you want brisket, you don't want to make 4 pounds.
Totally. Okay, it's such a different look. You can just see in terms of just the meat itself and the marbling. Yeah. Okay, great.
Now.
Finger licking, is that allowed in the Grumble Test Kitchen?
Oh yeah, especially these.
Okay.
So I'm going to slice off the netting.
Okay. That makes it a little bit easier.
And
then here you're just going right across it.
This you go right across. Yeah. Anything that's sold in a net or tied, you can typically just cut in that direction of that. So you see it's rolled up. So if you wanted to, you could.
And this is more just like a presentation thing.
It's a presentation thing.
It seems kind of fancy.
It seems fancy. It presents much more beautifully in the vacuum packaging and the boxes. So that's why we roll them.
Okay, great. Beautiful.
Okay. And there's actually, this is just like, kosher cuts 101, but there's nothing French about the French brisket.
Right.
Except for the fact that we actually cut it from the French roast.
Okay.
And there's nothing French about the French roast.
Right.
Talk to anybody who's trained in French cooking and tell them you want them to make you French roast, and they will have no idea what you're talking about.
Right, it's like
French toast or French braids.
Exactly, but it's what it's what we call that roast in the kosher world. So fine.
So fine. Mirepoix really is French, by the way.
3.
Okay.
Okay, so 1,
French brisket.
2,
Second cup brisket.
3.
Brisket strip.
Okay, who is ready for me to taste test, and who is jealous?
I'm not jealous.
Right.
I'm taste testing too.
No, we're together here. I have my coffee ready, guys.
Okay.
Hold on 1 second.
What's your...
I'm starting with the brisket strip.
Okay. Hang on. It's a brisket strip. Oh, it's fabulous. I didn't think it would be as soft.
What, the brisket strip?
Yeah, they're all going to be.
Well, they all should be, right? Because it's quality meat, it's American meat, it's bred for tenderness, all that stuff. Obviously cooked perfectly.
Oh my gosh, yeah, obviously.
Jody is very jealous.
Oh, Jody's jealous. Okay, I'm sure.
People also want to see the sauce. What it looks
No,
like.
yeah, sure.
We'll look at that in a minute.
Hold on a
Oh,
second.
people were busy.
Yeah, you can tell this is way leaner.
Yeah.
Let's show me.
It tastes leaner.
It tastes leaner. It looks leaner. But it's still great. Okay.
Yeah.
This is very thick, guys. It's delicious. Yeah, can I just spoon it? Give me, so I'm not eating out of that spoon. No. Awesome. It's amazing.
So the other interesting note was we cooked all 3 roasts at once in a really big roasting pan, but really this is really more of a I'm blanking on the pot we're using.
Dutch oven?
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
It's really more of a
Your
Dutch.
first time in the kitchen now?
We
only cooked together for years.
A little rusty.
Totally.
But in terms of the Dutch oven, so Dutch oven is closed, so you're not going to lose much liquid since we did this in a big open roasting pan. And it was covered with foil, so this is definitely a little bit thicker than it would be if you were doing this in the Dutch oven.
But I love this. This tastes like the most richest condensed sort of like brisk stuffed cabbage. It's delicious with it. It's sweet. It's tomatoey. And then we get to taste our second cut.
Oh yeah.
Of the two, I think I'm preferring right now between the brisket strip and the French brisket. The French brisket. Do you have a preference, or it's like picking a favorite child?
No, I have no problem with that.
Oh, I'm such a second cut girl.
Because it's all about fat.
Fat equals flavor. Yay! Good news for me. Oh my gosh. Oh,
and you literally you just pick the meat in order of marbling.
Yeah. So what's your favorite?
Oh, moly.
Totally. Wait. Excuse us while we eat.
Yeah. Can we cook? Are we live? Can we take a break? Can we take a
No, totally. So which is your favorite? I mean, you could pick something that's even not in front of us from the brisket page.
Okay, so my favorite is second cup brisket.
Yeah, okay, good. So fine. So let's say, I knew we were besties. Yeah, we go back a long way.
But French brisket is great. It's definitely like brisket strip is not for me. It's a leaner cut. It's great for chilling.
Right.
It's great, and it's great for people who like first cut brisket.
Well, there are plenty of people that do like that, and we have our program Fresh Families, and so definitely the brisket strip or the first cut
brisket
will get you a little bit less fat.
Or deckle is another great one you can do if you're looking for something leaner.
Yeah.
But honestly, I'm a top of the rib man.
Wow.
Because top of the rib is right in between first and second cut in terms of marbling. It's got a little bit of a beefier flavor, just because it's a different muscle. It's on the really more towards the cow's back. It's like on top of the rib steaks.
Okay.
I love that cut. I love the flavor. I love the marbling. And the nice thing about that is it's relatively consistent with brisket can be a little bit tougher to cook, not tough to chew, like chewy, tougher to cook because the first cut and the second cut are just different.
Right,
so
for sure.
If your family has varied taste, it's perfect because some people
you can get the whole brisket, then you get some first.
Some people like the lean, some like the fatty. But if your family all likes the same thing, top of the rib is great. Or you buy second cuts or first cuts, whatever you need.
Would you be able to tell if you slice the top of the rib? Does it look very different than the second cut brisket? Let's say
it does.
Right, slice it a little bit more elegantly. And
exactly. And that's the thing. If we can zoom back in, second cut brisket is awesome, but it's not going to be the prettiest
It's not
thing.
as pretty.
It's not going to be pretty.
People are going to lick that plate and that pan and that serving dish, but it's not as elegant.
No, and
You
it's
won't
hard
see
to
it on
get.
Instagram.
What?
You won't see it on Instagram.
Right, yeah. Oh, look at it. That's the new thing. You won't see it on Instagram.
No, well,
Yeah.
I mean, you'll see it in the smoked brisket joints,
Sure.
but it's very, very hard to get the like.
Yes. these
I
beautiful slices.
sliced this hot, and
Yeah.
we got perfect
Right,
quarter-inch
totally.
slices. Second cut brisket, when it's cold, it's very hard because it's going to pull.
So,
it's going to
yes.
pull.
So that top of the rib is nice for the
really,
holidays.
top of the rib is great because you can get the presentation, but
Yeah.
it's still going to be tender but not dry. It's
Okay.
a really,
I like that.
we don't buy briskets in my family anymore. We let our customers buy the briskets.
Sure.
If you need brisket, we got briskets.
Yes.
Don't worry, but we eat top of the rib. It's great.
Okay.
It's a little bit cheaper. too.
Okay, amazing. So guys, growandbehold.com, they've got an amazing new website, which you can now use the code Jamie Loves Brisket. You get 10% off
10% off.
your order as long as it includes any brisket, correct?
Including the French brisket, or top of the rib,
Or first cut brisket.
First cut brisket, whole brisket,
Second,
fat on brisket for
Yes.
the smokers.
You can get brisket strip.
And brisket strip.
Veal brisket.
Veal
veal
brisket.
brisket.
Don't forget the veal brisket.
Oh my gosh.
Don't forget the veal brisket.
How many items before we go do you have on your site?
We have
You know?
got to carry over 300 different cuts of meat. We have pictures of every cut we sell. We have pictures of every
So
cut. We did
amazing.
so much photography
Don't
in our
mind me.
butcher shop and right here in this kitchen. We have a calculator that will tell you how many steaks you're getting. We're showing you the price per pound, so it's easy to compare. You can sort by price. You can filter by different cuts. You can
Amazing.
search boneless. You can search everything.
And Knopf is on my website, jamiegallo.com. Tons of recipes, tons of Ask the Meat Expert questions, so make sure you check out that content. And can they call you?
They can call us from 9 a.m. Eastern till 8 p.m. Eastern, and we will answer your call.
That's
We will
so
take
nice
your
of
order.
you.
We will answer your
11
questions.
hour window, that's cool.
We've got a great customer service team that we are thrilled with. They're happy to answer your neat questions, answer your questions about shipping, delivery, help you find recipes, anything you need. We like to say we are in the business of making people happy.
Yeah.
We just do it by selling meat.
And
So
you do
check
it.
us out.
The Meat Experts, growandbehold.com. Knopf, Jamie. Bye guys. Happy Brisket Day.
Have a great day.